Don't tell me you need money to start that business. All you actually need is your iPhone, some Wi Fi, and something valuable to say. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you the power of marketing and with zero to no money. Most of us think we have to have this extremely large budget to start branding and marketing our business. And truthfully, you just need three key components. And the first thing you need to do when putting out a brand or promoting a business and you don't have any money is let's talk about the story. Tell people how you started, right? Like, how did you start the brand? What was the story behind it? People underestimate the power of storytelling, right? If you have a compelling story or an interesting story is the reason why you started this business, this brand, you brought this product to the marketplace, tell that story. Create a 30-second to 1 minute reel. You can use free tools to do that, including your iPhone and some Wi Fi access, and just kind of share the story of the brand. What is the reason you bought this product? What is the reason why they should buy the product? And then what problem does it solve? If you can open up with a fabulous story about your brand and how it came to light, and then you can also talk about what problems it solves for someone else, then you have free marketing, baby. And it's golden and it's available to you at no cost. A lot of us think we have to have major ad campaigns to get us going. And while these things are great and while they do give you a boost, you can start using the free platforms that you have access to, like social media platforms, and just start creating reels. And know when reels are going to be popular, right? Or what's the best time to promote them. So for instance, let's say you're a restaurant owner and or you're starting a new food truck and you want to go ahead and get people in your local neighborhood to be interested in, buying food from your food truck or what neighborhoods you're going to be in available. Know when your core customer, which is another segment, right? When that core customer is actually looking um, for specific things. So these are like cheat codes. So you know that someone who is doing food trucks, they're going to be searching for these things for weekend events. So knowing the time when you can get these things out there is knowing the time when you want to promote it is what I'm trying to say. So forgive me. All right, that was a little ramble, but knowing when you should put out these particular reels at specific times is another golden key to go ahead and promote that business, right? So have a storytelling, make sure it's compelling, and you might have to fluff it. Maybe it needs to have a little bit more music in the back, as dramatic as it sounds, but make that story really compelling. Add a little music. We all like a little dramatization. Figure out what problem you're solving. Maybe it's good food. Maybe it's vegan, it's healthy. It's the same flavorful taste, but less of the bad stuff. We can say that it's all locally sourced. Whatever those examples are or what problems you're solving with this product, make sure you go ahead and mention them. And then you want to talk about who it helps, right? These things are actually cheat codes and free marketing strategies. Like a lot of people think you have to have this large and grander than life campaign. You really just need to be able to look at these three components: tell the story, solve the problem, and identify who it helps. And that's really the two key components to free marketing. And if you can master the art of these three things, you will have to spend zero to no money to get your business out there. I promise you, give it a try and you'll see. Excuse me. Use the free platforms, of course. Tell your friends, tell your families, ask them to share this video, but mainly just solve these three problems up front and you'll be in the door and it'll cost you nothing. The second thing is I want you to start looking at social media platforms as not a browser, as more of a business. So when you're thinking about setting up your social media platforms, be thinking about all of the visualization, right? What problems does it solve? How do I want my brand to present, right? Is this a modern look? Do I want people to come to my social media page and feel something? Do I want them to have an experience, right? Like, do they come to my page? Is it bright? Are they getting sensory overload with bright colors? Are they excited about what they're seeing? Or are we evoking some sort of emotion with like visualizations? Like, what is it that when they come to your social media that you want them to see? But make sure you understand your brand presence, right? Because some of the people who do marketing the best and have these larger than life budgets think about what emotion they want the customer to feel when they come to their social media platform. Do they want them to feel something? Do they want them to see something, right? So, understanding that your social media page should be run as a business, you have to understand what is it that you want your customer to feel when they come to your social media page. So that's really important. And these strategies that I'm sharing with you don't cost you any money. Just understand your story, right? Understand what problem it solves, who it serves, and then position yourself as the expert, right? It's your product, you're the expert, and then push that out there, right? And use social media now as not someone who's a browser, but as someone who's a business owner, right? This is your brand. Get excited about it. This is your business. Showcase it, right? When you come to your page, you should know how you want to feel, right? And when you come to your product page or your social media, you want to feel what, right? Think about that from the customer perspective, right? So when you're marketing, to do it really well and to do it free, you have to think about the mind. So you have to really think about stepping outside of yourself. Think of your business, think of yourself as the customer, right? I am the consumer. Who am I, right? Then start answering those questions. I am the consumer. Who am I? I am a woman, right? Or I am a male, or I am someone in the age range of whatever that is, right? Start saying that and then answer those questions as you're building your business page for your brand. I am such and such, and I want to feel this when I come to this page. I am a 29-year-old single female, and this is what I want to feel when I come to this page. Like, whatever that buyer persona, being the person you want to buy this product, that's the who. Try and identify with them emotionally. If you can connect to the emotion of the person you are trying to identify, marketing becomes a lot easier. You have to know that you will spend less money trying to figure these things out by already knowing who you're trying to target, right? Not target, but who your customer is, who's your buyer persona. I don't like the word target. It sounds a little strange, right? In marketing, we want to think about targeting anyone. We want to look at aligning a specific person to this specific product. So you can do all of these things at no cost. Trust me here, I've done it, right? Think about telling the story of the product or the reason why you bought it to market. Understand clearly, you have to be very specific on what problems this is going to solve. And then you have to be clear on the specifics on who this product is for. When you know these things, it makes marketing seem less more intimidating and more at reach. And then that second part is setting up your social media as a business. So when someone comes to your page, how do you want them to feel? That's very important. Do they want to get excited? Do you want them to feel like this is a brand lifestyle? Can they see themselves as this person? However you want them to identify with your product is how, when someone comes to your social media page, that's how it should present. Not, personal, but look at your social media pages as a brand, right? Not as a browser, not as somebody who's consuming. Marketing as a business person 101, you're not the consumer. You should be the person who is giving them something that the consumer would want. And that is the product, it's the service, and it's also the feeling. So you can do these 3 things today, and it'll cost you nothing. I'm telling you, put your story together, know who you're talking to, and marketing is free. And you have platforms like TikTok, you have platforms like Facebook's, Instagram. Now they're not an overnight success. Let's be very clear that everything you do requires time. And if you're not marketing with a budget, then that means you're going to have to trade in that time you would have had doing other things to create these types of campaigns so that you can market the business. But it can be done, and it can be done for free if you put these components first. Those 3 things we already talked about, and then understanding that emotion you want to drive when they come to your page will require no money at all. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I am so excited about your journey. I'm glad that you've came here to our channel, and I'm glad that you are joining. And if you haven't joined and you're just watching this video for the first time and you want to scroll on through, please don't do that. Like, subscribe, leave a comment if you agree or if you disagree. But please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because moving forward, we'll be talking about all things entrepreneurship. We'll be talking about starting a business solo. And there's so much content that I want to share with you, and I don't want you to miss anything. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching today or listening today to Breakout and Conquer. I'm your host, LaToya, and have a great day.